Hi, I'm the plant propagator and welcome to my channel. If you're interested in seeing more of my videos, it would help me if you could click on like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Today, if you can see, as you can see, I'm in the laboratory and I'm actually in the hood. And what I want to do today is a sterilization of a Phalaenopsis seed capsule. And this is a seed capsule that I shared with you in my previous video, and what it is a cross between two of my no ID Phalaenopsis. So I don't know what it is. I know what the flowers look like, but I don't know the names of the plants, so they're not identified. I harvested this capsule off of my plant this morning. And it's a little bit of a mystery as far as what the plant is, but also I've never done a Phalaenopsis capsule before. I've done a lot of Cattleyas, done a lot of Dendrobiums. I've never done a phal before. And so we'll see how this goes. If you're seeing this, it means it was successful. So yay. No, let's see how it goes though. And so what I'm going to do is sterilize this seed capsule. The tag is still attached to it from when I pulled it off the plant. I'm going to sterilize it in a 50% bleach solution that I have right here. So this is 50% of fresh bleach, and I made this is a 100 milliliter graduated cylinder. So I'm making 100 mils, so it's 50 mils of the fresh Clorox that I bought earlier this month. There's 50 mils of water in there, and I actually add a drop of a laboratory soap called Tween 20 as a wetting agent. So the Clorox solution can then get into all the cracks and crevices that are in the seed capsule for better and more efficient sterilization. This is 50% bleach, which is really high for seeds. We use 10% for most of the plant tissues that I've surface disinfected throughout the years. Use 15 to 20%. So 50% is high, but what you have to remember is that the seeds are protected inside of the seed capsule, so it should be okay. All right, so I made up this solution, and I should also say that I'm wearing my lab coat today. It's not just for effect, but it's when I'm working with bleach. I don't want to get bleach on my clothes, and this was a pretty full bottle of bleach, so when I made the solution up, I did it over the sink, and it made a little bit of a mess, but luckily it was in the sink, and I didn't get splatter all over myself, so it was fine. So what I'm going to do is take this capsule here, and just so it's a little easier to handle, I'm going to cut the base of it off, maybe around right here. What happens with these capsules and with the bleach, when you have a freshly cut surface, the bleach actually gets into that fresh cut and it will damage the tissue. So I don't want to go too close to the seed capsule itself. And then what I'm trying to do, what I also want to do is trim off a bit of this old flower tissue, but I don't want to get too much into the seed capsule itself. So I'm kind of trimming it off because this is, it's a carrier for contamination if you have that old dried tissue in there. So what I have is a semi-sterile 50 mil centrifuge tube, and then I'm going to take the bleach solution and pour this in here. And what I like to do is fill it up almost all the way. I'll put the top on, and then this thing is agitated. There's you'll see some soap bubbles that are in here, and that's because of the Tween 20, the laboratory grade detergent that I added. This thing gets sterilized for a long time. I have to check my notebook. I can never remember these. I don't know whether it's 20 or 30 minutes. So I'll put this on a shaker in the laboratory. You don't need to do this. You can just periodically shake this like this in order to make sure that the bleach is really getting into the to the cracks and crevices in this capsule. But I'll put it on the shaker, and what the shaker does, I'll collect a quick video of that, and what it does is it just kind of agitates this tube in, and make sure that everything is mixing up correctly. So I got to check my lab notebook, and we'll be back in 20 to 30 minutes for rinsing of this. I should also mention that I'm going to plate the seed from this capsule on 2 different media. So I have the P723 medium, which is the standard phytotech medium that most people use, and that's in this bottle right here, and it's in a bottle. It's still hot. I just autoclaved it. It hasn't cooled down enough yet to pour, and then I'm going to pour them in tall Petri dishes. And then this is my own formulation. So this is plant propagator formulation. I call it my OSG for orchid seed germination medium. So I'm going to compare the 2 different media. They both have charcoal. There's a lot of the same components, but they are different. And I want to see which medium gives me the best germination. I'm going to use the fowl seeds on this, but I've also plated a lot of other seeds on these 2 different media. I ran out, and I'm hoping to see a difference. If not, then that's fine. I'm hoping my medium is better, but it might not be. I don't know. So anyway, let's see how this goes. Again, I'll come back to you in 20 to 30 minutes, and we'll rinse the Clorox off of here and split the seeds open and see what's inside. And we're back. I checked my lab notebook, and the sterilization time is 25 minutes. I might have gone a minute or 2 over, but it's okay. What's happened with the seed capsule, and it's still in the container, so I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but on this end of the seed capsule, it's turned white, and that was the Clorox treatment that I was explaining to you previously. And it just bleaches out the tissue. The seeds that are inside are protected, so it's okay, and everything is fine. What I'll do now is rinse it 4 times, 3 to 4 times with sterile water that I have in this container here. And so I'm going to do that now, and then after the final rinse, we'll be ready to excise the seeds and see how they look. I poured some plates just so I would have some plates to put this onto. The medium is really hot, but if you pour the plates, it lets the medium cool off, and hopefully it'll solidify and I'll be able to move right on to that. But we'll see that in a few minutes. So for right now, though, I'm just going to rinse the seeds with rinse the capsule with the sterile water, and cut it open, see how they look. Okay, I'm not sure how many rinses I have. It's not even that high a number of counts, but I lose count, so I don't know whether I did 4 or 5. I think I did 4, but it doesn't matter. An indicator, what you're supposed to do, and I'm not going to do this, but you're supposed to smell the solution in here, and if the Clorox smell has disappeared, you've rinsed it enough times. What I do is I look every time. If you notice, I look, and if you shake it up and there's no soap bubbles that form on the top, to me that's clean enough, and that's good. So I think this is enough rinses, and I think we're ready to go. What I might do, or what I will do, I think, if I can set it up, is move the camera a little bit closer and focus on my hands, and so you can see what the dissection of the capsule looks like, and so you can see what the seeds look like. So I'll pull it out, put it in a dish, I can do that right now, and then we will move a little bit closer. So you can see what the dissection of the capsule looks like. Okay, so here we go. This is just a little bit awkward because I can't really see what's going on, and I hope I don't block the view of your view of what's going on. But the first thing that you do is cut off the base of the capsule. And I like to get rid of the stuff in there, and then you cut off, this is the flower side of the capsule. And that doesn't look really promising at all. So what I see here is the maybe this is what it's supposed to look like. I don't know, but what you can see here in the capsule is it looks like there's brown. It's brown inside, which is not good. Capsule itself looks good, so I'm going to dig into it just a little bit more and see what's in there. I've heard, I've dissected one Phalaenopsis capsule previously, and the seed, it was a capsule that somebody gave to me, and the seed that was inside was non-viable, and it was actually white, and this stuff looks, but I've heard that the foul seeds can be brown. So this is, I'm doing a kind of a cutting open. They're definitely brown. All right. You know, the only way for me to tell what's going on is to take these guys out. They're the right consistency. These are the brown seed from the open capsule. So let's see what I'm going to do is pull these seed out and put them in water in a tube and plate them out and see how they look. So this is really, I mean, from the from the naked eye you can't tell anything, and I haven't done enough of these to know what these things should look like, but they're definitely brown seeds that we have in here. I think we might be okay, but let's take a look. What I'm going to do, I can show you a little bit of what I'm going to do. So I want to collect these, and the way they come out as I think they should. All right, so this is what, yeah, I bet this is okay. So they come out and they look like this. And what I'm going to do with these is shake them up in a little bit of water and plate them out. And that seems like that's just a lot of seed, but I might try to get some from this end too. Woo-ha! It just seems like that's a lot of seed. Anyway, so I'll put these in a tube, shake them up, see how they look. Okay, and so we're back, so you can see a little bit more what I'm doing. So just so you can see, I took some of that and put this in a tube, and the seeds, I'm pretty sure that's what they are now at the bottom of this tube. So what I'm going to do is shake up the seeds and distribute them, and then pour them onto these media. There's just a lot in here. And then what I'm going to do also, I think it's a lot of seed. So after I distribute them on the plates like that, I'm then going to, there's so much liquid in here, and this is how I've been doing it, there's so much liquid in here, I'm going to, you let these sit for not very long, just a few seconds, and then I'll pour them off. I'll pour a lot of them off into the next plate. All right, and then you swirl and distribute those, and then I'm going to take the remnants from here and let it settle for a few seconds, and then pour it. So I'm not sure you can see what I'm doing. There, now I think you can see a little bit better. So I'm going to take this now, after it sets for a little while, and pick it up carefully, and then pour it into the last plate. And what you end up with is, from this, and make sure that that's distributed, what you end up with is a really nice distribution of seeds across the surface. You don't pick them up individually, you don't scoop them out and plate them, you use the carrier water in order to distribute the seeds more evenly. And so I'm going to do these other plates the same. It's the same approach. So I have a lot of seeds here as well, and let them settle for just a minute, not even a minute, just for a few seconds, and then pour them into the second dish. And what you may, well, you can't see it from there, but there's a lot of seeds that are left on that dish, and you get a distribution of really quite a few seeds here. A nice distribution of the seeds along the surface. And again, you got to make sure to do this aseptically. Let that sit for a little while, and then you move this so it's a little bit easier for you to see. So this is the plate that I just did. This is the last plate of this group. And then pour it onto the last plate. And then again, what you do with this plate is make sure that the seeds are distributed along the surface. So it's got I got a pretty good, pretty good distribution of seeds. What I'm going to do next is, and I'll show you some images of what this looks like underneath the microscope here. This is a Leica dissecting microscope. There's a little top light, and then there's a little backlight as well, so you can see what's going on. These seeds look awesome. There's just so many of them. It's my first successful Phalaenopsis. I'm laughing because there are just so many of them. It's really pretty obscene. I was worried about the harvesting the capsule when it wasn't quite ready to be harvested, because I've got to go out of town soon. So I was worried that I was harvesting it too early, and it's been just a little bit shy of 4 months, but it's really hot here. The capsule was just starting to turn a little bit, just a little bit lighter green in color, but those are just huge embryos in the seeds. So everything looks really good. I'm really happy. I'll collect images, and in the image that I collect, I'll show you how nicely the seeds are distributed. There's so many of them in here. I think I'm going to have to dilute them out a little bit. I've got a lot of seeds, and then I've got a big clump left over. So, geez. Okay. Anyway, it's a good day for doing this. This is successful. I've got a lot of plates to pour. I've got a lot more seeds to plate out. And again, what I'm going to probably do with these seeds is, because Phalaenopsis is so quick to flower from seed, I'm probably going to include these phals, and maybe based on some comments that I've gotten from you guys, I might include some of the other orchids that I'm generating in the laboratory on a tree mounting kit that I'll hopefully make available in, depending on how fast these things go, but probably nine months. In 9 months, I'll probably have some. If these things continue to, I'm hoping that they grow. I'm hoping that everything looks good. But in another 9 months, maybe a year, I'm hoping to have just a ton of Phalaenopsis seedlings that I will have deflasked and acclimated and be ready to go. So that's all I have for today. Happy propagating.